was that? 132.
Alright, welcome to the track guide portion of the video. Alright, so first things first, before you even start the lap, you would definitely want to have a good run on this last corner. So really your lap starts back here. Got to get your good amount of tire heat and good amount of speed coming out of this last corner. Alright, what you want to do here is when you're approaching this corner, you want to try to get over to the left hand side as much as possible. You want to start braking right around here, about 30%. And you want to start your turn in right when this tire starts going out to the left hand side. And what you want to do is just bleed off a little bit of the speed and then get back on the throttle nice and early so you can have a nice long run down the straight. And you just really got to get a good judgment of how much throttle you can start to apply without hitting the wall. That's always the danger here. Trail brake down so you can get your apex. When you got your apex confirmed, that's when you can start getting on the throttle. There's a decent amount of camber to the track, so you can, get on the throttle pretty hard and be able to use that to your advantage. Run it all the way to the wall. I didn't take as much on this. I was just making sure that I didn't hit the wall on my outlap. That's always a bad time. All the way down the street. Want to all the way, upshift all the way to 6th. You can definitely, keep it right on the rev limiter right at 5, but honestly, I don't think it's that fast. Um, get a little bit extra speed, a little over speed with going up to 6th. For this corner, for turn 1, you want to start braking right around 150-ish meters. Try to keep, try to open up the track as much as possible without going off the track. Brake hard around 80%. And downshift all the way down to 3rd. Key thing here is try to keep up your minimal speed. Um, Try to time your acceleration with the amount of camber and compression that you're going to get in this corner. As you can see here, I got a little bit of brake just to help me be able to kiss this apex, as well as getting on the throttle a little bit more, so I can start compressing the rear end to get a good run coming out of here. You can definitely gain and lose tenths here. Once when you're at the apex, it just passed, you want to get on full throttle and let this run as wide as you can. Pretty sure the off track here is when you put all 4 tires past this yellow and red curbing, but I could be wrong. It could be half the car. So you might want to try to keep the right hand side of the car on the yellow and red curbing. I came pretty close to putting the middle of the car over that, but I think I kept it just in, and that allowed me to keep this lap valid. Try to get off the curb. I kind of realized that midway down. Run up the hill. Try to keep the steering inputs to the minimum, and just try to basically point your car for the next curb, and keep on going as fast as possible. All right. This corner is interesting. You want to start braking right around the 200-meter board. It's not a big braking zone as you might think. It's actually very light. You want to get on about 20%, and then you want to put about half your car on this curb. And by the time you hit the apex, you want to be off your brake, so you can just keep your rolling speed up without having to put in some throttle inputs that upset the car. So yeah, right around here, I'm already off the brake just to keep the rolling speed going. And then I get back on the brake just so I can make this left-hand turn up here. Gives you a little bit more rotation, and then once when you know that you're going to be able to make that turn, that's when you start getting back on the gas. Then what you want to do here is you want to try to keep it to the left as much as possible. Don't keep it right on this line because there's a lot of marbles that usually build up during the race. But what you want to do is just get on throttle nice and hard, especially right around here, and then just kiss your apexes here, coming out of the corners, here and there. Uh, Usually in the bus stop, you're downshifted into, I believe it's, let's see, I downshift to third or fourth. I think I keep it into fourth here. Yeah, keep it into fourth. And then upshift to fifth by here. You're not going to be able to keep it in the fifth the whole time. So what you want to do here is right around this two bulb stoplight, you want to have, be off the throttle by then. And what you want to do is in the middle of the corner, you just want to downshift to fourth and use that rotation to just help you get around this corner. And usually what you want to do is start to anticipate the front of this Marshall stand over here, and that's when you want to get on the throttle pretty hard. And probably, even though you just downshifted to fourth, you go back up to fifth, and you just let this run as wide as you can. You can actually use all this track over here. Just don't hit this grass, or that is an off track. Alright, what you want to do here, I braked a little early again. Just been doing it this whole lap. But usually you want to brake right around this concrete drainage thing. Want to get it on the brakes pretty hard, about 80%. You're in fifth gear, going to be downshifting all the way down to second. And you just trail brake in, and then you start getting on the throttle just a little bit. And what happens there is you start compressing your springs as you're going down the hill with some throttle application, and that's really going to just give you a good drive out of the corner, as well as prevent the back end from spinning around. Because you're going downhill, bleeding off a lot of speed, you're going to have a higher chance of losing a rear here. So you just want to get on the throttle nice and slow. Nice and slow at first. You can get on full throttle after that. Alright, approaching this turn. Get on the brakes around 150 meters. About 70-80%. And just use the hill and bleed off while you're doing a little bit of trail braking. And then you can get on the throttle fairly early. I think I got on the throttle a little too hard here, and I just kept it around 60-70% until I knew I was going to make the exit of the turn. And that's where you want to start. Just upshifting from second, third, fourth, and I believe you are at fifth by here. Yep. All right, what you want to do here is around 140 meters. Uh, brake pretty hard and get down to second gear. On this exit here, you can definitely use as much of the runoff as possible. So if you gotta, go around traffic or just avoid somebody, all this runoff is, free real estate. You just kind of try to use enough to make you fast, but uh, going over like far over, you're just gonna lose a lot of time. So just try to optimize your exit. Uh, Usually you have to get on the throttle fairly late, so you just don't lose a whole lot of time going, far off on this exit. I put, the whole car past this curb, and then just start upshifting for turn 9 up here. This left-hander is a little weird. Usually I'm in fourth gear by now, and then I start downshifting down to second. Downshifting down to first just puts the car, it tries to make the corner a little bit shorter with a shorter gear. You end up losing the rear a lot more. This is another corner where you just have to get on the throttle nice and slow at first. It's flat, a little off cambered, so you're not going to be able to carry a whole lot of speed coming out of here. You do want to try to run it as wide as possible, but be careful when you put the car on this curb here and you have any steering input, you have a high likelihood of the car just losing the rear. It's a flat surface and you're turning left, and if you, basically that what that means is you got a lot of lateral load on the tire. So if you have a whole lot of steering input, you're just going to lose the rear. Turn 10 is pretty straightforward. By here, you're upshifting to fourth, and right about here is when you want to start upshifting to fifth. This just gives you a little bit of extra speed. You don't need to let this go out to the curb. You can definitely can if you don't have a lot of grip, if it's like a lower grip surface. And we're back here for turn 11. That's where you want to get as far over to the left as possible. Start braking, right about at the start of this line. You can definitely brake a little bit sooner and a little bit less, and just let the car roll in, and then you get on the throttle nice and hard. I optimizes this exit pretty well and got right out to the wall without hitting it. Yeah, key thing is just not to hit the wall. And just make sure you don't hit the rev limiter and go all the way down the front stretch. This lap was 132.4, but I think it's pretty good, especially for me. I'm only 1800 iRating, so I think I pulled this one out of the hat. But yeah, thanks for enjoying this track guide, and hopefully it makes you a little bit faster, especially for our 120-minute race that we got this weekend. All right, okay, bye.